Hi there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Billy O'Donnell.
I'm Hunter Ricks.
I'm Jordan Kasich.
I'm Nick Robbins.
Jacob Chapman.
And we are here to present to you Size Me Up.
So I'm gonna throw a scenario at you guys. So I'm a high school student. I'm in a business incubator class, and I have a pitch to investors Friday. And I go online and I order a sweater off Amazon. It comes to me that Thursday, and it's too big. I notice it's too long. I have nothing to change into, so I just decide to go wear it. First off, I look unprepared, and second off, I'm gonna have to end up returning it anyway.
You know, ever since the invention of online shopping, it's revolutionized the clothing industry. Now you can buy any clothes you want with a single click of a button. But this system does have its disadvantages. Sometimes shoppers are often left more confused than they would be shopping at the store. You know, there's small, medium, and large, but what are those? They're not numbers. A small from Gap can be a medium from American Eagle. And when you're online shopping, you don't know that. In fact, when you do decide to buy your clothes, there's a percentage that 1 in 3 articles of clothes bought online are eventually returned due to sizing and fitting. This is a problem for shoppers because eventually they have to make their way back to the UPS store, return it. That's time out of the day that they may need. For businesses, that's money wasted. In fact, an average online brand spends roughly $500 to $1,500 a month solely on returns. That's a huge problem. And this is where Size Me Up comes in. For shoppers, we're a website that allows people to make free profiles that consist of their email, name, and different measurements. And they're allowed to use those measurements between all participating retailers. Now, a participating retailer is an online clothing brand that that pays for our software monthly. It's basically a widget, and every time you want to buy a piece of clothing, you click on it, and then your sizes that you put in at our website are transitioned to there, and it'll give you to the right size every single time. Now, we have user segments and customer segments. Our users, we've narrowed down to 2 people. Moms, working suburban moms, with kids, jobs, different chores around the house. They don't have time to remember their kids' measurements. What our profile does is it allows them to make a family, say. So the mom could be the admin, and they could add various their kids' measurements so the measurements never get lost, and they'll always get the right clothes for their kids the first time. And fashionistas, they're constantly shopping online. To be clear, it's roughly 16 to 25-year-old girls who love shopping. They constantly are shopping, and they're shopping at so many different places. And since sizes online are so inconsistent, they need a way to track which size they need at different websites that are participating. And our customers, which would be paying monthly for our software, consist of online retailers such as Johnny O and a boutique that is online called Sure Move. They will pay for us once again monthly, and our software basically turns into a widget on their website, which allows their shoppers, their customers, to use our program, which they already signed up for.
All right, so for our UBP, it's going to be free to make your profile. Then once you make your profile, you'll have your profile. Then you can have multiple profiles for maybe, say, people in your family, like your mom or your brother. So you can have those all there, so you can access them to buy clothes for them. And then also, when buying clothes from, say, American Eagle Online, then you can then transfer, if they're a participating retailer, to another participating online retailer online, so that it all stays intact on there.
Now, we're not the only people trying to solve this, and I'm going to show you our 2 leading competitors. First of all, Fits.me is a direct competitor, and they are based in Europe, but they don't have the profile creation system that we want to have, and their website is the sole place that their software is located, so it's separated from the retail store, which makes it difficult for customers to travel back and forth. And their measurement system is a little different. Our next direct competitor is TrueFit. It's based here in America. They don't have the profile creation system as well, and their number crunching system is a lot different than ours actually. And they're also forgot their one. I think is it. So yeah, that's TrueFit.
And so here's our TAM and SAM. Like I said, our customers are going to be the online retailers, so we took the total amount of online retailers that sell everything. And roughly 23% of those are solely based on clothing, so the total addressable market we found would be 23,627 total online retailers that could use our software. But then we also narrowed it down to based in the Chicagoland area, so we have ways of communication and meeting, which would make it easier for possible sales.
So this would be our 5-year model or simple graph. And as Billy mentioned earlier, it's going to be a monthly fee. And what we decided to do is $749.99 a month, so $750 a month, which would equate to $9,000 a year. And that we got those numbers off of Billy and me talked to a retailer, a West Coast brand called Johnny O, and he said he roughly spends $500 to $1,500 a month on returns. So our software will virtually eliminate the return fees. So when we put the dollar value at $750 a month, we're saving him money actually. And we decided to do, it would be reasonable to say, try to get 1 customer a month for the first year. And then the majority of our costs are going into SG&As, which include salaries for our sales team. And by year 3, we will be taking out a cut of the salaries. So that's where the majority of our money is coming from. And the startup cost is a big issue, a big point. And also for our MVP, our first part of our MVP is our landing page. And so this is one of our demos of our landing page off of turnmvp.com. So we would have a little bit description of who we are and what we do. And then the big button that we want people to press is to make your profile today. So that would be for the users, that would be for customers like you guys who are looking to make your profile. And we would be tracking how many people click that. And there would also be a second button for businesses, which Billy's going to talk about.
And this could kind of give you a brief preview. So if you were to click on the business button, since we don't have the software, it would be more of like a notification. We're still developing the software. We'd love to contact you. Could you give us our email, and we'd love to give you updates. But on the shopper side, they can go right ahead and start making their profile. If we have more of those, it provides more of a value to companies. So when we do finally have it, and we have a huge user base, that's going to be a huge value proposition for the company.
And also, one thing we're also doing is a Kickstarter campaign, and you guys probably are pretty familiar with Kickstarter, but it's crowdfunding, so it's also all or nothing. So if you put your goal at 10,000, you get 9,000, you don't get any money. So our goal would be 10,000, which would be mainly going into a demo, because it would cost 40,000 to get the whole entire coding, but 10,000 would be reasonable for a demo. And also, what we'll be tracking is how many backers we have. So we're not only tracking how much money we're funding, but how many backers, because that means we have, for example, if we have 23 backers, we have 23 people that believe in the product. And also for our MVP goals, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, our landing page, we would like to see 1,000 views per month, 200 clicks on the Make a Profile button, 5 clicks on the Get Started button, which would be for the businesses asking for the technology. And then our Kickstarter campaign, we're hoping to get 40 plus backers and a $10,000 funding goal.
So another segment of our MVP is a YouTube video. Because this industry is relatively new, or it's not really that common, we want to raise awareness about the problem and drive people to our MVP landing page where they can find out about the problem and what we really do to solve the problem.
All right, so this is our Twitter page, and our plan and we also have a Facebook page. And our plan for advertising with this is we were gonna have, with our participating online retailers that have us, we were gonna have them post the link to our Twitter and Facebook pages on their social media pages to let their customers know that they have our technology. And then also, the competitors will also be, we feel that the competitors will also be checking their social media pages, so we feel that the competitors will see that they have our technology, then they have the edge on them, so then they would in turn want to get our technology. This is a page, iPhone Mom, that we found online, which is, they review technology and apps for moms, and our plan with this would be to buy a space on their website, and then they would review us to get the word out there, and this would lead us to our landing page. But then we would get, they have 50,000 monthly views of moms coming to their website, so this would be a great great way to get moms to be informed know about our product, about our technology. And also, we've been looking at blogs for our Fashionista segment. So we would contact the blogs. They would post a little something about our technology to lead them to our landing page, and so this would let the fashionistas know about our technology to help them in their shopping.
And for our timeline, we would like to get the landing page up within the first 2 weeks. And then week 3 to 4, we would like to get a video out. And that's part of our MVP, we'll explain that later. But we would have to pay to have a video made for us. And we have a guy that offered up to make the video for us. And we would try to get that up and running within the next couple weeks. And then just to keep track of how much views we're having and to keep contact with our current retailers.
So our MVP cost for a landing page would be roughly $19.99 a month for 3 months, which would, of course, balance out to $60 for 3 months. Our YouTube video would be around $40. iPhone Mom advertisement is $100 a month for 3 months. So if we wanted 3 months, it'd be $300. So in total, we'd be looking around $400.
All right, so thank you for listening to our presentation today. We hope you had a good time and any questions.
Can you walk me to just understand, so if a retailer, say the Gap, has got your widget on it, and I'm shopping at the Gap and I've got a profile built,
Yes.
what happens, how is the Gap got to do work to integrate your widget on their site? And how do I interact with your widget on the site?
So we would work with Gap to get our coding onto their website so that they could just make a button. So like, let's say you want like a medium dress. Under the sizing, where it said like medium, it would say size me up, and you would click a tab then, and then it would take you to a little pop-up page, and you would plug in your measurements, and then it would say this item's gonna fit you. It may be too long for you. We would recommend a small.
Well, if you already made a profile, it already be connected from
Yeah.
the
Your
website. So your measurements, if you make a profile on our website, it's connected to all participating retailers.
And if you don't, you can create a
You can
profile,
create one like you was saying.
log in or register for the first time.
Exactly.
And that's what our competitors don't do. You have to keep plugging in your measurements for it. So let's say you have TrueFit, Gap, you plug in your measurements, you finish the order, then you want to go to American Eagle, you have to re-plug in everything.
So the actual calculation of, say there's a particular dress you're interested in, the measurements of that particular dress, are you getting those calculations?
Yes.
Who's doing the calculation to what my measurements are and the measurements of this
So
specific
once we partner with the retailer, we have to plug in all the information of their clothes into our coding that's already like our universal
Because they
coding.
normally don't have data, normally that isn't data that's just standardized to feed into your system. How are you gonna get all that data? Because they carry a lot of inventory, like at the Gap, or, you're saying if you
There are
talk to-
there are size guides that are already
You could do
there.
standardized guides,
Yeah.
So it's not the actual garment, okay.
No, but one of the value adds I thought is every medium is slightly different.
Yeah.
Isn't a value add that this sleeve is really 36 inches long, it's not 34, or am I missing that?
See, because the style guides styling size guides are already on a lot of websites when you shop. So you can go do a pop-up window now and it says, this is typically what it is. You judge for yourself whether it's gonna fit. So the value add you guys are bringing is that you're making
we're
that,
taking-
We pretty much
you're
parallel.
automating that calculation and doing it. So I'm trying to think, how are you actually gonna,
Well-
because that's a complicated algorithm behind the scenes to actually take all that inventory measurement data and calculate it into your system.
And with a big
And
assumption.
integrate it into a retailer site. Because I would love it. It's a
Yeah.
fabulous idea.
When you input your measurements, you're pretty much putting in numbers. What we found is every clothing company has numbers. This is 36 inches. It's all based on measurements.
Right.
So what we were thinking is once you put in your measurements, we basically match the numbers. We almost, it's kind of, like I said, it is complicated, but once you can match the numbers as close as you possibly can to a given size, because every size is going to have a different set of numbers. And if they don't have a size in between, that's, you're out of luck.
Most matches.
So yeah, it's basically matching. It's not finding your perfectly tailored dress because, they don't make a dress for everyone. You need to,
It's
we're
an
gonna match.
over or under kind
So
of
it's like,
thing.
it's
Yeah.
kind of custom for each website in a sense, but we're not recoding everything for every single
Okay.
website.
All right.
Did you see if there's any technology that you could incorporate into the website that you basically take a photo of yourself and it
Try it on a
scales your model. It scales your measurements.
Yeah.
Because I can't see myself measuring my sleeves when I'm
Yeah.
online ordering, but I can see myself taking a photo of myself on the computer,
Yeah.
kind of saying, oh, you're,
Right.
I agree there.
I mean, that's always a possible solution, but we were thinking the easiest way would be to just type in measurements. You know, at the beginning stage of this company, to basically test the idea, would be to measure yourself and put in
I mean, we
numbers.
could
You know,
even put that as like an
So in order to
Exactly.
do that, because it's a little bit of a barrier to measure yourself,
Mhm.
I wonder if you could go to, and just start this at one retailer, one online retailer, and say, buy the Size Me Up button, or whatever the, Size Me Up button.
yeah,
And maybe have, if you put in your measurements and you use the system, maybe there's a 5% discount.
Okay.
That gives some incentive for somebody to register, and the store should be willing to pay that as a discount because they have a stickier client. So somebody's already registered, they have their sizes, plus the return likelihood is less.
right.
But you're gonna have to give some incentive, I think, to
Okay,
get.
that makes sense.
I see it.
I would say you guys did one really brilliant thing. I gotta give you props on, is your price point for the retailers of $7.50,
Yeah,
basing it on their savings, their refund
Exactly.
savings. I really commend you for that, because that is, if you're gonna do a sales pitch to go in, that is just a great lead.
yeah.
So I haven't seen too many of startup companies actually base their pricing on customer value.
Mhm.
So that was well done.
And how did you get in touch with Johnny O?
To be honest, he's actually my uncle. He owns the clothing brand, but I didn't go in
So
like.
first of all, he's got a fantastic line. Tell him that you can't find it enough places.
He's-
And
yeah.
if he's your uncle and you can have him be your MVP,
We were talking to him about being our
He was
MVP.
willing to.
He's on board with it.
He's
okay,
Yeah.
that is a relationship that you can leverage like crazy. And
Yeah.
first of all,
No,
his
we're so
clothes
thankful
are
for
a
it.
little small, his large is like a medium.
Don't go offline.
There's more than a need.
For a
Yeah,
job
but-
sweater,
Yeah.
maybe?
No, no.
I'm actually wearing a lot of this.
But we'll try to go to him and say, guys, we'll measure all your clothes,
Yeah.
we'll match it up, and then give a discount for size meet. That, if you
Yeah.
could just take all of your MVP
Yeah.
money and concentrate it on the Johnny O deal,
Yeah.
or somebody like that.
No, Johnny O deal, don't go any further. He's got
Or
a
somebody
connection.
like that. If-
But it's online, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Let's not make it more complicated.
I
I
just
thought
got
we
so
were gonna
many
create an
things with
avatar.
his family. It's really-
When we talked about creating an avatar one time, I put my measurements in, which I'm willing to do. Mr. Miles is more irritable than I am. Because I'm only doing it one time, right?
Right, yeah, it's-
One time.
yeah.
And then there's an avatar, this chiseled guy right there, so that,
Yeah.
comes in and maybe this sleeve is this one and this, because I have really long arms. That's what
Yeah.
you would do for me. That's the value add. If you just throw an extra large on there, some extra large fit me, some, the sleeves are 4 inches short. Aren't you gonna measure the sleeve to say, I'm a 37-inch length, it's a 34-inch sweater? Or am I wrong? Because if you don't do that, you haven't added a lot of value to me.
Yeah.
If you just say it's XL or large, whatever, it doesn't do anything for me. It has to be,
It also, it also
For
depends
the
on the.
MVP.
no, I'm not on the MVP. No.
Yeah.
I'm off on your.
45 seconds.
Not on the MVP, gosh, no.
Yeah.
No, I know that.
And what he was saying about the 10 grand for Kickstarter, that would, speaking with a coder, he said roughly for the full product, he said 30 to 40 grand. But he said if you want a pretty developed beta, would be around 10 grand, and we would immediately go to Johnny O and see if he was interested, which he is. But he would probably be our first testing point.
What do you have to give people who crowdfund you back? Like, are they just doing it out of, oh, they're interested?
Yeah.
I thought usually that.
Yeah,
there's
there's always a
You're
chip.
getting something.
There's always a chip.
What are you getting back?
Oh, we haven't thought about that
Yeah,
yet.
Johnny, we've touched on.
Johnny O introduction community.
Okay. Lunch with Johnny O.
Yeah.
Can you go to your MVP? How much money
The
you're
cost.
asking for?
It should be right there. Yeah.
I don't think you need to do iPhone advertising.
Yes.
I don't get that part.
And this is all about just creating awareness and interest. You have to
Yeah.
prove the value and you need to go to a retailer. It's a really big deal to get, it's a B2B sale, it's very complex, it's gonna be very hard to get. And then
Last comment right here.
But if you do have the Johnny O relationship, you want to deal with it. Do you think your uncle will try it?
The beta?
Yeah.
If we develop it, yeah.
Okay, so now you have to develop an MVP around that. So, let's try to be creative and think about how to do that. It could be the concierge model where, you know, you guys have to be watching your uncle's website, and every time someone comes in, maybe you have a live chat and say, hey, can I get your measurements so I can get you the right size? And I'll give you a 5% discount. And, you know, you're just online chatting, and you know, maybe that's the way to do it, where you have no technology doing it, and you don't do it for every single customer. Does your uncle's website have a chat feature?
No, it's, his website's basically just his brand and his clothing.
We
He has
gotta
a
move.
fashion
We gotta
blog
move.
and.
Gotta move.
Facebook.
All right, we gotta put this one.
You
Got a number?
Who's your mentor?
Melissa.
Maybe we think about how to do the MVP.
Take your top 5 best-selling outfits, items on the website, measure them, and then.
See if you can push more sales than a normal.
Right, just base it on a small few items and then match it up against the profile. And then they can push out a message on the Johnny O website that says, this is a good fit for you, suggest you get a better fit your size, lower size.
So you want them to go one more step, but just pick like 3 clothing items in particular that they're focused
Start
on?
easy, yeah, they can do that manually, you don't need to build an app on it.
Right.
So that's all I'm just thinking. Just see if there's value.
Some way to test it out to see, one, if
And then get a
users will
discount if
use
you
it.
say that, you know.
And yeah, I would promote a discount to give measurements.
But what happens if he doesn't have that live concierge chat?
Well, then you're probably gonna have to do some technology behind it, but I don't think it's that crazy.
Gotta go.
Gotta go. Sorry.
Good luck, guys.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
Too hard to solve.
Dom, you're the only one.
Number 4.
Yeah,